So, you want to know what CWP is? Come with me and we'll show you. So, what is a CWP? That stands for Children's Wellbeing Practitioner. We work with children and families with mild to moderate mental health difficulties. As our services vary so much, today we've put together a combination of all our days and what they look like and what our workload is, so you can have a good idea and understanding of what the CWP role actually is. Let's do a day in the life. So this is a typical plan of what the CWP would be doing during their day, featuring many sessions. We've got travel time in there as well. We've got groups, calls, we've got writing up our data. This keeps us organised throughout our week so we can know what to do and when to do it.
So what have you got on today?
I've got a Wellbeing session later. I've done some resources for it. I've got the BA cycle at the moment. And then a little later on, I've got an anxiety session as well. So I thought about doing some breathing techniques with the young person. So we've got some grounding ones and breathing techniques. It's really important to print these all off as soon as we can, because we never know when we're going to have time during the day.
Yeah, there's just go, isn't there?
So it's really important for CWP to be as prepared as we can be. We have to carry around a lot of resources and we have to know a lot of really useful information. In the morning, it can be really useful, I find, to set up all my session prep. So this is getting things printed, it's creating resources if needs be, which quite often we do have to. When we talk about resources, this is things like worksheets we can use with the young people or with parents to help them learn about what it is we're doing, or it can be activities on the worksheets. Quite often we can use ones like this where they can take them home as well. It can be things like making sure we've got our books with us. It could even just be making sure that we know what we're doing, so having a bit of a session plan.
It's really important to be prepared, especially when we're working in different areas of the community. Well, I'm heading off to a group parent-led CBT session. So we host these at some of our family clubs. Making it a group session means that more parents are able to access at one time, so it shortens our waiting list to support. It's really important to work in the community. CWP's one of our core principles is accessibility. Being able to work from different venues such as schools, one-to-one in our family hubs, or even at the child's home makes that support really accessible. We can meet the child where they're at, and that's really trauma-informed as well. As we work out in the community, and especially in people's homes, it's really important to keep ourselves safe. My service provided me with a personal safety device, and this allows for kind of GPS tracking. It allows for recording as a safety button, which I can press, and then someone will listen in to see if I'm in any kind of danger, need any kind of help. It's really important to keep these on you at all times. It is part of the policy. But I'm going to take you with me to my session. We're heading off to the parent-led CBT session, and then straight afterwards I've got a one-to-one with a young person in their home. It's really important to, when you're working out in the community, to have those connections with the places that you're working in, so we can create that kind of holistic support around the child, so getting their teachers involved and taking part in kind of CAF meetings, making sure that everyone's on the same page. And that's really important for the kind of multidisciplinary working as well. It really increases that awareness, which is part of our core principles, so it's obviously invaluable. It allows us, like I say, to work together to come up with a needs-focused plan around the young person. So we work with not just the child, we work with parents, with schools, we work with professionals, with children on a one-to-one basis. Sometimes we might work with children in groups as well, depending on where we're based. So for example, in schools they might do kind of small emotional well-being, psychoeducation classes as well, which we can absolutely be part of. So some of us are based out in the community, such as the service I work in. Some of us are based in schools, and some of us are mainly office based.
Sorry. You've got to get lunch while you can in this job. So I'm on my way to a health promotion event right now. This is done with partners in the community to promote well-being in various different areas. Today's is focusing quite broadly. We are focusing on the 5 ways to well-being, which underpins a lot of what we do as CWPs. This encompasses various different areas of our well-being, like being active, connecting with others, taking notice, etc. So I brought with me today quite a few different resources. I'm going to be doing this in a community venue, like I said. I'm going to be doing this with my colleagues and community partners, and hopefully we have some engaging activities for the young people. This part of our job kind of sits in that section of the getting advice of the Thrive model. This is more like indirect support, so we would be thinking about how we can promote it in the community and get that indirect outreach. So by talking to community partners, parents, even young people who might not be experiencing mental health difficulties right now, this hopefully has an indirect impact. So even though predominantly our role is in that getting help section of the Thrive framework, it is a little bit fluid. So in this section, I personally would say we are in that kind of first section of getting advice, that early intervention, that prevention side of it. So I'll show you some of the resources that I've got. There's quite a lot, and like I said, this encompasses all of those 5 ways to well-being. So as you can see, there's a lot to take. Here I have a stress bucket. So this is to demonstrate that stress bucket idea, that we need to kind of do things to look after ourselves to kind of reduce that stress. I've got some packs for people to take away, which includes some resources, a water bottle. I have various different things, pens and stuff, so that we can do colouring activities. And as I said, there's a lot. So we have our trolleys to transport all of this. 4 packs, there's resources under there with kind of paper resources, some worksheets that we'd quite often use in therapeutic work, just to kind of promote that self-help as well.
So I'm Maya and I'm a trainee CWP, and today I'm doing an online session, and she's struggling to get into school and do anything she enjoys. But the reason we're doing it online is because she struggles to attend school for any sessions or to even attend my service. So do you want to just give me a little recap of how your last week's been?
It's been alright. Like, I'm still feeling a bit low. I haven't really been out much.
So shall we do our feeling chairs this week? So I'll show you the chairs and then you just let me know which one you're feeling. Which chair are you sitting in today then?
I think I'm in the tired chair today.
Okay, and why do you think you're in the tired one?
I had a bad sleep last night.
And do you remember what we do if we're struggling sleeping on a night time?
Is it called sleep hygiene or something?
That is exactly it, Alex. Well done for remembering that. So do you remember the sheet I showed you last week?
Yeah.
This is the vicious cycle here. So at the minute you're feeling low, aren't you? And you're feeling a bit down and sad and obviously tired. When you're feeling low, you obviously do less, so you would avoid things you normally do. So can you think of anything you're avoiding at the minute?
Well, I'm not getting into school really. I'm not doing any of my hobbies that I like. I'm not going to my piano classes now. Just can't be bothered.
And that's totally understandable. So that's what we need to remember, that this low mood is causing us to do that. And then when we do less, we're getting less out of life. So you're not enjoying it at the minute, and you might feel that sense of isolation. Once we've done this vicious cycle, can you remember what comes next?
There was the positive cycle that you showed me of like basically the opposite.
Yeah, that is absolutely perfect. What we want to do is break this vicious cycle and do more of what matters, so we feel better and happier and we get more out of life. It's really important that you know that this cycle can be broken. You just need to do things that matter to you. Can you remember a couple of things that matter to you?
Playing my piano. When I've done it and I've done my practice and it relaxes me and things, I always feel better, but I just can't be bothered, and I'm so tired.
And that's okay, and that's totally understandable. And eventually, as the sessions progress, a negative cycle of being broken, and you'll be doing more things you enjoy and getting more out of life. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
You two look busy. What are you up to?
We're preparing for supervision at the minute, so I've got caseload supervision.
I've got clinical skills supervision.
Can you tell me what the difference is?
I'm preparing for a caseload. We don't necessarily focus on clinical skills in that session, so we'll be looking at staff wellbeing check-in, see how I'm getting on in my own life, uni, and how I feel about work and how I'm getting on with the team and things like that. We'll discuss my cases. At the minute I've got 5 active cases, 2 current med CBT cases, a low mood case, a panic case and a generalised anxiety case. So it's quite a good mix going on there. I also have 3 cases to close this week, so we'll be talking about kind of next steps for those families, making sure that the families are feeling supported, and we'll also make sure that everything's updated on the system as well.
Similarly, we would begin with kind of that wellbeing check-in, just see how things have been going in all areas of life and kind of in service. And then this is a space to really practice those clinical skills, so that can be through having discussions around any cases that we might feel like we need a bit of support with, we might be a bit stuck with. We can take videos, which is particularly important as a trainee, to get that kind of feedback and have that reflective space. Could also be an observation, like a live observation, or role play to kind of practice anything that we feel like we might be stuck with or we feel like we need to develop a little bit. It's really important to have that space to get that feedback and to reflect so that we can continuously develop as a practitioner.
Hey Alex, can you tell me what you're doing?
I'm just writing up some clinical notes, which is a big part of the CWP role. It does vary on what you've done. So for example, initial assessment would be a bit more detailed. You'd be putting more into those notes because you're gathering more information. That would include the full risk assessment for W's, the 5 areas formulation, the impact, and so the SMART goals. You would also include any letters that were sent out to the GP, emails sent to parents, just any correspondence that you have will get put into the client's clinical notes. For a session, it's really similar. You would write about the intervention. The role play that you watched earlier was a behavioural activation session. We would write in what session number we're on, what we've done in that session, who attended the session, if I'd recorded the session, and also recommended outcome measures. So that would be things like R cards, session rating scales, outcome rating scales, and the client can read these notes. They can ask to have the notes at any time, so you really need to be mindful of that and write them not with too much medical jargon, factual information, not opinion based. Stay clear of putting any sort of opinion in there. It has to be factual. What you've done in session, the clinical work that you've done, the next steps, any home tasks you've given, what you're doing next week. So you want to get these notes on the system within 24 hours.
5 o'clock guys, home time, are we finished?
No, I think I'm going to be here another hour, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Been that busy today?
It has, it's been one hell of a day.
I've just finished getting my last general note on, but I've got to sign the Friday, so I'm actually going to the library. But it's open 24 hours. So.
Oh, perfect. I'm sorry you guys are having such a late night. I'm actually going out for my tea tonight.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, we'll head out together.
I hope you guys have a good night. Lots to do. Thanks guys, see you later.
Have a nice weekend. You too.
Bye. Sometimes this requires some additional work, such as if safeguarding concerns come up, we might have to stay a bit later to kind of manage that, make sure all of the appropriate actions are taken. So while this would be your typical 9 to 5, this does sometimes require a lot of extra work around this.